Today on the DML News Podcast, Donald Trump threatened with jail from the radical judge in New York. Israel goes into Palestine once again, and we have new border numbers and just stuff from the White House that makes you say, what? That's right. Get ready. I'm back in the saddle, and I am all unfiltered.
Dennis Michael Lynch gives you his word, and he will never let you down. He will always fight for America.
The only one who really puts his money where his mouth is Dennis Michael Lynch.
Hello, I'm Dennis Michael Lynch, and I thank you for joining me today. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who supported my two sons who took over the show for the last week while I've been out recovering from surgery. I cannot be speaking for very long today, so this program is going to probably be about 35 minutes at best, simply because my mouth is still very, very tender, and it hurts the more I talk, but that is getting better with each single day. Got good news today. Do not have the cyst that removed out of my mouth is not cancerous, so we are very happy on this side. That being said, we're going to get right down into it, but do want to remind you people who are watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we now give you half the show. The other half of the show is on the back end for Team DML members. And that is because a lot of times we speak about things which go against the community standards of these crazy, crazy platforms that no longer want, especially during election years, anything that has any controversy to it whatsoever. So we are basically being programmed like robots. We will basically abide by their rules by just saying, hey, come on over to Team DML, where the rules are the Constitution and the freedom of speech, and you can get everything you need to know. We also have at the end of the show today some really cool announcements, but I'm going to hold it to the end. Dennis, we're going to start off with the Trump trial. Today, is it Stormy Daniels is coming, or the thought is, what is that?
Yes. So for the most recent update to the trial, it's Trump returning to New York City, this Tuesday. And according to an AP source, Stormy Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, is likely to be called as a witness to the trial today. Trump said earlier Tuesday that he was recently told who the witness would be and complained he should have been given more notice. The former president's appearance before Manhattan Criminal Court comes 24 hours before or after Judge Juan Merchan found Trump in contempt of court for a 10th time during Monday's session. Now, that contempt of court is because he continues to speak out about the case, even though Merchant put a gag order on him, although it did not place one on Michael Cohen, who's been speaking freely about the case ever since this has been happening.
So for the past week, not doing the show and stuff, sitting home and recovering, I have found myself doing something I haven't done in years, which is watching a lot of cable television news. And it's amazing how it's the same thing repeated over and over and over every single hour. And when you watch what it is that the networks are playing on this, it's a tale of two different stories. In one event, I will give Fox News a lot of credit because they have been focusing in on how crazy this entire trial is, how it's based on nothing other than trying to prevent Trump from being on the campaign trail. And the lamestream media, the CNN, MSNBC, they think, they're treating this thing as if it was like a real forensic murder trial. They think this is as serious gets. And I sat back and I was looking at the people who the prosecution are using to try to get Trump nailed to the cross. Stormy Daniels, who has made money basically laying down on a bed and letting any Tom, Dick, or Harry have her for the evening and videotaping it to boot. As far as I'm concerned, this is just permitted prostitution. In my opinion, that is prostitution. Just figured out a way to get around it. Michael Cohen, as far as I'm concerned, the things he's done should have caused this case to be thrown out. As one of the star witnesses, or if not the star witness, he is a convicted felon. He has been a habitual liar his entire career. He's egotistical. He thinks it's all about him. and he cannot be trusted. I don't know anybody who would sit and look at anything he does, be it on a witness stand, be it on a TikTok video, be it on a podcast. He has a podcast every day. He is trying to monetize his time with Trump like no other person I've ever seen. This guy is permitted, Dennis, to go in, give testimony, do whatever he's got to do, and then go to TikTok and monetize his connection to this case. He is literally going on TikTok, and as he's on TikTok, you can see people are paying him tips.
Yep.
You know, on Facebook, it's called stars. It happens to me periodically. I'll do a Facebook Live, and somebody will give me a star, 50 cents, $1. It's BS money, but it's a way of saying, hey, we appreciate what you're doing. Michael Cohen is monetizing this entire trial. That alone should just take the entire case and throw it out. He is the star witness, but it's not happening. What's happening is the complete opposite. What's happening is proof that this is indeed a kangaroo court, that this has nothing to do with Lady Justice, that this has everything to do with trying to bury Trump from being out on the campaign trail and having a real opportunity to run for president. The Democrats are too late. He's the guy. He's running. That's that. With that being said, before I hand it back over to you, so you've got a porn star / in my opinion, fake prostitute, and then you've got a discredited felon who basically admits he's slime and monetizing it on TikTok. But Donald J. Trump cannot say anything in his defense. Donald J. Trump is restricted to what he puts forward with his lawyers as a defense, and is told that every time you break this, it is $1,000 fine, which is highly unconstitutional because it's his First Amendment right. But now this judge is threatening Trump, saying to him yesterday, I don't want to put you in jail. Yeah. You were the former president and maybe the next president, but that's the next step. Let me tell you, I say prayers every day. I will say the prayer right here and now. I pray that this judge throws Donald Trump in jail, because Trump said himself, if that means if protecting the Constitution means that I'm going to jail, well, it's worth fighting for. If they put Donald Trump in jail because he's trying to defend himself in a kangaroo court that allows scumbags like Michael Cohen to get on TikTok and do whatever he wants to do and monetize it, and Trump can't say a thing, I guarantee you this is a landslide victory for Trump come November, because he's already got every Republican and every conservative. Anybody who's going to sit on the sidelines is coming off. And the independents of this country, the independent voters, are not delusional like Democrats. They're going to sit there and look at this and say, what they're doing to this man is criminal. If they could do it to him, they could do it to me. They may already be doing it to me. Trump is going to stop this. I'm voting for Trump.
100% agree. I mean, look, there's no question, at least in my opinion too, the momentum for him, even compared to the 2016 election, because again, he was the unknown at the time. Now it's been known, and we're seeing what the Democrats and those that don't want him in power again are trying to do. Maybe just to close it out here with our Trump segment, when he's not tied up in court, he's trying his best to campaign with those free days that he gets. Like he was just in Wisconsin last Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Well, this weekend he went to Miami to the big F1 race down there, and his team put together this little 30-second video, and it just shows the energy and love for him. I mean, he's shaking hands with the F1 Formula racers. He's shaking hands with little young black kids. I mean, like there's just an excitement for him that you're never going to get with Biden, that I don't know if it'll ever be replicated with another presidential candidate. I mean, it's just, how could you not look at this and say, hey, this man should be the one who's going to win in November? So
play the video.
Yeah, anything to the contrary.
Play the video.
Yes, a hero's welcome for the former president at the Formula One Miami Grand Prix. Trump waved to the crowd and stopped by the McLaren garage.
He was at the Formula One race down in Miami at the Miami Grand Prix. The crowd went crazy, chanting USA, USA as he was waving to the crowd.
The people that support Donald Trump are more passionate than the people, the 40% of the country that support Joe Biden.
Trump's warm, very warm welcome at the Miami Grand Prix.
That kind of reception shows that President Trump is not only welcome here in Florida, but he's probably welcome around the world.
His driver that he talked to last ended up winning the race.
You know what you don't have, Dennis, anywhere to show? You don't have a video of Biden feeling love and admiration from people like that. You don't have, I mean, you got Biden who could barely walk. I mean, he can't even walk from the White House to Air Force One anymore or to the helicopter without having a group of staffers around him for the sake of making sure that he doesn't fall down and for distracting people from seeing how he waddles. It's no joke. I mean, this was a report last week out of Axios that he now has assistant walkers. Now they are fitting him for sneakers that will help him from not stumbling. This guy looks more like somebody that you would see at a nursing home than inside the White House. And that's why nobody gets excited about him. There is no possibility that this man will win in November without shenanigans being on the table. I just wound up seeing a poll, again, while I was watching Fox News this week. He is now taking double-digit leads on many various different polls, not only from right wing, but from left wing and down the center. And those leads are going by 10% in some cases. Economy, immigration, foreign affairs. I mean, look what's going around us. I mean, Israel now, tacking into, into going to Palestine again. We're going to go into that on the latter part of the show because we're going to say things that, of course, the crazies will not like, the pro-Palestinian crazies who are working throughout Silicon Valley. They're not going to like us saying it, so we're going to push it off. But let's be honest. Joe Biden has absolutely no momentum and he has no record to stand on. I wish we had this video. I really want to play it. I mean, let's add it to the let's add it. It's so worth it. And then I want to go into what the White House has said about crime. If you didn't watch it yet, it's really cool. I mean, Denny and Ryan are starting to really make Ryan's Cafe a whole lot of fun for Team DML members. If you're not a member of Team DML, please give that a look at teamdml.com or on the fifth tab on the app, the Interact tab. And when you do join Team DML, you help us stay in business. But they did a thing like a Star Wars shake, a smoothie over the weekend.
Sci-fi smoothie.
Sci-fi smoothie. And it was related to the sci-fi May the 4th be with you, meaning May the 4th or the 4th of May. So I never heard of that before because I'm not a Trekkie. I'm not into sci-fi stuff, although I watched Star Wars when I was a kid. But Mary, your mother, brings up a video of Luke Skywalker, the original.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill goes to visit the White House and visits Joe Biden. And Jean Pierre, LGBTQ lady, she gives him the podium in the White House press room. I mean, who are we giving the presser to? And what he says about Biden is so nauseating and so crazy and so unbelievable. We have to play it. Ryan, play that video.
Okay, how many of you had Mark Hamill will lead the press briefing on your bingo card? Hands? Yeah, me either. And look, I just got to meet the president. He gave me these aviator glasses. I love the merch. Love it all. But listen, I just wanted to say I was honored to be asked to come to the White House to meet the president, the most legislatively successful president in my lifetime. And, I don't have to go through the list, the bipartisan infrastructure law, the PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, all of that, inflation, 15 million jobs. Look, it's all good. I mean, I was really thrilled to meet the entire staff because, it's not just one person. It's like a composite endeavor. And all these people, my goodness, I have no idea. I had no idea just what went into what is on his plate on a daily basis. So that's pretty much it. I'm open to questions, although no Star Wars questions, please. But I want to say once again how grateful I am, and it just shows you that one person can be so influential and so positive in our lives, and
All right, sir.
so yes,
Can Biden bring up Star Wars too, sir?
well, I called him Mr. President. He said, "You can call me Joe," and I said, "Can I call you Joe B1 Kenobi?" And he liked that. But listen, I'm not really here to dominate. I have to turn it back over to our wonderful press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre.
Okay, Dennis, let's focus on Biden for a moment, because I think we've already sold the idea that Trump is the guy we need for the job here. What the hell did she say about violent crime and a new law? What is she saying here?
KGP is claiming that
Look, I'm DML. Do not put her at my status with KGP. Just call her the
press
LGBT.
secretary LGBT.
Yeah.
Is claiming that violent crime is at a nearly 50-year low.
Good heavens. Play the tape, Ryan.
Under this president's leadership, President Biden, violent crime is at a nearly 50-year low. Thanks to the extraordinary efforts of law enforcement and community leaders, Americans are safer from violent crime today than they were a year ago.
There is not a single human being, Dennis, that I know that feels as if they are more safe today than they were when Trump was president. We've got dangerous people who've come through the border, both terror-laden, terror watch lists, people from Haiti, prisons that had been emptied. These people are coming over. We got them from Venezuela. We got them from Central America. We got MS-13. We've got gangs. We've got cartel. We've got protesters in the middle of the streets of New York calling for the death of America, death of Israel, death to the American flag by burning it. Who the hell feels safe?
Of course. And look, even go beyond that, right? Even citizens of this country who are just criminals by nature, they commit a crime in a blue city. What happens? They get arrested, and then some liberal, relaxed, Soros-funded DA says they're good to go and they're released. How many cases have we read that just this year alone where you would think they would be behind bars or at least, held accountable, and they're not? It's crazy.
I don't know if you saw this or not. Mom and I saw it. It should have been something that went viral. The protests that happened a few days back at Columbia when the police raided and went in. There was a correspondent for Fox News outside.
Alexis.
Yeah. And she asks a black guy that's there, completely part of the, he's got the whole baklava or whatever the hell they call that thing that they wear on their head. And she says to him, "Are you afraid of being arrested?" And the guy says, "No, we're going to do what we do all the time." And she says, "What's that?" He says, "We're going to get arrested tonight. We're going to get released tomorrow. We're going to be back at it." And it's like right there on national television to millions of people. That guy is laughing in our faces because Joe Biden and the Democrats have absolutely eviscerated the rule of law. Absolutely.
Right. Well, look, I mean, when it even comes to illegal immigration, we have like a little clip here. And I might even give translation before we play it because Biden is so difficult to understand at this point. But during one of his recent campaign stops, he's basically talking about how we shouldn't be that accountable with immigration law and that we should be giving a break to those coming across the border, crossing the Rio Grande, and that, these people that are coming across maybe aren't all criminals, which is false. If you cross the border illegally, that is a criminal action.
Should we play his clip?
Yeah.
Can you imagine a kid 2 years old saying, "Mom, don't take me across Rio Grande. It's against the law." Give me a break. These have been model citizens.
The concept of Joe Biden, as he just spelled it out there, is this. I go home today and I'm home with Mary. And some person walks up to my home, opens the door, and enters my house without knocking or permission. That is trespassing the moment they cross over the threshold. In Florida, I'm allowed to have stand your ground. I could shoot that person and have absolutely nothing to pay for. That person has to pay for, especially if I take their life. In Joe Biden's world, some of the people that may do that to my house today are good people. They're good people, and they shouldn't be frowned upon. They just wanted a better steak. They just wanted a better beer. They just wanted more air conditioning. They just wanted to have a nicer, comfortable bed. And I should open my arms and open my home and accept them for what it is. That's not it. Nobody in the country other than radicals want that sort of thing. Independents don't want that sort of thing. Republicans don't want that sort of thing. Children don't want those sort of things. Adults don't want, and the senior citizens don't want those sort of things. And it is happening every single day by the thousands. And he is delusional enough to think that he could go up there and paint a picture of happiness. What doesn't he understand? 43% of the people in his own party in a recent poll that was touted by liberals said that they would be supportive of mass deportation. Somebody translate to Grandpa Joe that means we don't want them. And yet he keeps on leaving it wide open. We have a statistic. You have it here. The Border Patrol released it. This is coming out of Breitbart, and I think we put it on the app as well. Before we go breaking to Team DML only, what do we have here on border apprehensions?
Yeah, some apprehensions. Yeah, so Border Patrol agents apprehended nearly 129,000 migrants who illegally crossed the southwest border in April between ports of entry. This is down slightly from the more than 137,000 apprehended in March. Border Patrol agents assigned to the 9 southwest border apprehended nearly 129,000 migrants during the month of April, according to an unofficial BP report reviewed by Breitbart, Texas. This brought the annual total for fiscal year 24, which began on October 21st of last year, to nearly 1.2 million immigrants.
Now, here's the thing. 129,000 migrant crossings during Trump's presidency, or even Obama's for that matter, would have been mind-blowing. Yep. We would have been screaming, close that damn border. What are you doing? I mean, it happened. We've seen this. Now 129,000? Oh, well, at least it's down from 300. At least it's down from 225. At least it's down from 170. That's just apprehensions. We don't know how many people got through, the getaways. But 129,000 people in 1 month. The flow continues to go. The structure of this country is being crippled. The infrastructure, the rule of law, the schools, the hospitals, everything you can shake a stick at is being crushed, including the elections, because and I know these people are going to be encouraged and enabled to vote.
Look, we know the south border is a mess, but even this report talks about our neighbors to the north in Canada, that it's awful. Along the Canadian border with the U.S., Swan and sector migrants continue record-shattering apprehensions. During the month of April, agents in Swan and sector, which covers eastern New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire, apprehended nearly 1,500 migrants, more than double the apprehensions of only 670 in April. So again, it's obviously not as awful as the southern border, but the fact that it's not getting any better in the north isn't good too.
Do we have a video out of New Mexico?
Yes.
We have. All right. So I'm going to let you introduce the video out of New Mexico. And then after that, we're going to flip over. So let me just say this one more time for people on Facebook, YouTube, and listening to us on the audio platforms. We are now moving over to teamdml.com. At teamdml.com, it is a private, behind a paywall. You could say what you want, freedom of speech. You don't have to worry about playing videos that, these social media companies are going to say, oh, no, that's offensive, because it's basically true. So if you are somebody that identifies as a Facebook follower or YouTube or, like I said, one of the audio places, please go to teamdml.com on your computer or your desktop or whatever you're using. If you're using a smartphone, just download the DML News app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and look for tab 5. It says Interact. At the top, it says Team DML memberships. For as little as $2.50, you can join us and you get the full video, the full audio every single day that we do these programs, plus all the other different benefits that come with the DML News app and with Team DML, including free ads. I mean, you have no ads. You are ad-free on all of our news. So with that being said, we have to say goodbye to you right after this video plays, and then we will be back to comment on that video and what's going on with Israel and the attacks that they just carried out, what's going on with New York and Governor Hochul and something she said about blacks and computers. And then, of course, we're going to go back into this pro-Palestinian stuff and these flag burning, just destroying monuments that have been, I mean, this is America they're destroying. We're going to be showing that and commenting on it. So if you're going to follow over us, thank you. And if not, God bless you and your family and have a great day. And maybe we'll catch you with the half a show again tomorrow. Ryan, play from New Mexico.
We want to show you this new video from the southern border in Sunland Park, New Mexico. Just a few hours ago, our cameras caught this group walking into the country led by cartel guides. One Border Patrol agent there told our own Matt Finn that mountain, which is in the United States, isn't ours anymore. It belongs to the cartels. That stretch of the border has been one of the busiest sectors over this past week, with more than 1,000 people a day coming across.
Get the Dennis Michael Lynch podcast every day by subscribing on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and download the DMail News app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store for breaking news, merchandise, films, exclusive content, and team DMail.